This portrait of Joseph Antoine Moltedo is a remarkable example of the neoclassical style of Jean-Auguste Dominique Ingres, one of the most influential French painters of the 19th century. Ingres was a student and follower of Jacques-Louis David, the leading neoclassical artist and supporter of the French Revolution. Ingres admired the classical ideals of harmony, clarity, and proportion, and sought to emulate the masters of the Renaissance, especially Raphael. He also developed his own distinctive technique of drawing, which emphasized precise outlines, smooth surfaces, and subtle gradations of color. Ingres painted this portrait during his first stay in Rome, where he moved in 1806 after winning the Prix de Rome, a prestigious scholarship for young artists. He remained in Rome until 1824, except for a brief period in Florence from 1820 to 1821. During this time, he received several commissions from French officials and dignitaries who were stationed in Italy under the rule of Napoleon Bonaparte, who had proclaimed himself King of Italy in 1805. Ingres painted portraits of Napoleon himself, his stepson Eugene de Beauharnais, who was the Viceroy of Italy, and other members of the Napoleonic administration. Joseph Antoine Moltedo was one of these officials. He was born in Corsica in 1775, and became a successful businessman and inventor. He was also an agent of the French clergy at the Vatican, and the director of the Roman Post Office from 1803 to 1814. He was a friend and patron of Ingres, who painted his portrait around 1810. The painting is currently on view at the Met Fifth Avenue in Gallery 801. The portrait shows Moltedo seated in a chair, wearing a dark coat and a white shirt with a high collar. He holds a letter in his right hand, and rests his left hand on a table covered with a green cloth. Behind him, a window opens to a view of the Appian Way and the Colosseum, two famous landmarks of ancient Rome. The contrast between the modern and the classical, the interior and the exterior, the light and the shadow, creates a dynamic composition that draws attention to the sitter's face and expression. Moltedo looks directly at the viewer, with a calm and confident gaze that conveys his intelligence and authority. The portrait is also notable for its use of color and light. Ingres used a limited palette of mostly brown, gray, and green tones, with touches of red and blue. He applied the paint in thin layers, creating a smooth and luminous surface that enhances the realism of the forms and textures. He also used light to create contrast and depth, highlighting the sitter's face and hands, and creating a sense of atmosphere and space in the background. The stormy sky adds a dramatic and romantic element to the scene, suggesting a sense of tension and uncertainty in the political and historical context of the Napoleonic era. Ingres was praised for his portrait of Moltedo by his contemporaries, who admired his skill and fidelity to nature. He himself considered it one of his best works, and kept a copy of it in his studio until his death. The portrait is a testament to Ingres's mastery of the neoclassical style, and to his ability to capture the personality and status of his sitter, as well as the spirit of his time.